Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. We're taking a look at another Studio Constructicon. And this time around, it is Hightower. Now, Hightower was not one of the original Constructicons, but the way the lore has been going now, it seems like he is now a permanent member of the Constructicons. I believe replacing Hook. Of course, more than likely, trademark reasons. That's probably why Hasbro's had to change the name. But when you talk to people my age, when you say Hightower, some of us will tend to think of the character played by Bubba Smith in the Police Academy movies. And especially when you look at how short this little guy is, the name kind of comes off as a misnomer for him. Hightower here certainly is one of the stranger looking robots for the Constructicons. Let's slide him out of the way for the moment, and we can take a look at his display piece, which, like for all the Constructicons, is showing off the pyramids of Egypt for the scene where the Constructicons merged to form Devastator. But at any rate, we'll get back here to Hightower. Hightower does have some articulation. It's not a whole lot to go by, since, as you can see, there's not a whole lot of robot here. His head is on a swivel, so it can look up and down, but unfortunately it cannot be turned from side to side. The neck also has another joint at the back of it, so he can do a lot of yes-waving. Down beneath him he has a couple of tiny little arms, and they can be swiveled up and down, and that's about it. For his legs being on treads, they can be stuck out about so far. They have a swivel at about the thigh area, and they do swing both ways at about the knee or elbow. Plus there's an extra one at the ankle. So he has quite a lot of articulation. It's just, since nobody's really sure how his robot mode truly looks, we're not exactly sure what all he has. Now, for loose pieces, Hightower does have one, and that would be the crane trellis here, as it does come detached from the toy when it is purchased. And of course, it does have a grabber claw at the end of it that swivels out, but it also can be easily removed. So do bear that in mind, and I would avoid removing this due to the fact that it does seem to be on a rather unsturdy bit, and it doesn't look to be made of very solid plastic. So I would avoid removing it as much as possible to avoid breakage. Okay, to transform Hightower, it's a simple process, really. The first thing we got to do is we fold up the little arms so they're up touching his chest. Then we got to turn him around to his backside, and we fold this little circular piece so that it is down and out of the way. Then we'll grab this gray bar and we fold it flat against his back. It will stick out like this. And the crane just gets swiveled up against it. I want you to keep the crane hand pointing downward and shift this black bar that's behind his head up to support it. And then you fold back the section where his head is, and then we'll fold his head underneath. And now comes some work on the legs. Because the leg pieces do separate at these panels here and fold back behind the vehicle. You may have to adjust the treads a little bit so they're not in the way of each other, interfering. We rotate their hinges a bit. This isn't exactly the right way, but we gotta get them so that we can straighten the tread out. And then, of course, the treads have to be repositioned so that some of their areas connect to the body. Excuse me a second while I fight with him. Okay, the trick with Hightower is we've got to get this post here on the tread to line up with this hole on the support leg. And once you've done that, then it's a matter of working him around so that the post that's here at the front of the treads will connect to the vehicle. Well, no, it shouldn't connect to the vehicle because that's a little high. There we go. That's better. That's better. Now we're getting somewhere. Fortunately backwards, but it all works out. Then once that's done, then the rear of the vehicle can finally be brought down, and the side panels can snap onto it. And then, of course, now we got to reach down on the floor and pick up the crane. And Hightower here forms a gigantic truss crane. And unfortunately, because his treads are fake, he just has some wee wheels. So all he can do is basically putter along on the surface. Hightower here forms the left hand to Devastator. So the first thing we need to do to transform him is get this gray piece shifted outward a little bit like so that it's ready to connect. We're going to turn him over. We re-angle the tread so that the treads will now connect to the holes at the front of the crane. Just like that. Try to get these sides re-snap back into place. Then we come down here, we fold out his neck and bring that whole unit down, keeping his head angled like so, because they want us to remove the crane hook and attach it to the back of his head. Like that. And then, of course, we need to make sure this post is shifted a bit so that the hole is easily accessible. And then basically this is how he'll look once we put the crane hook back in. Here we got it in upside down or something. There we go. Once that's in, then this will basically form the left hand of Devastator. Or at least he will help form it. He forms the arm. So it's kind of, this end will connect to the arm. And then down here is where scrap metal goes to form the hand. All in all, while it's an interesting concept to merge two Transformers together to form an arm, it just seems a little wonky in practice. But maybe I'm being too critical of it. We'll see how it all looks when it's formed up to Devastator. As a toy, Hightower's not too bad. The crane mode looks pretty good on him. The robot mode, however, that takes a little getting used to. Especially when the fans are debating as to whether or not the robot mode we got is his true robot mode or just some lazy amalgamation. I guess we'll find out one day. In the meantime, that concludes my review of the studio version of Hightower. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you liked the video, leave me a thumbs up on YouTube, please. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button and join our ranks. Make sure as well to ring the bell so you'll be notified of new content. We also ask that you share this video with your friends and fellow collectors. That helps this channel grow. And also share your thoughts about Hightower in the comments down below. This is Sparkster1701 saying I'll catch you all later.